My rechargeables are charging, so just could run out any moment. Okay? We just went out at 4 in the morning to go pee-pee. It's for him to go pee-pee. I wanted to get this out. I'm going to try to go back to bed for a little bit. Heavyweight, you know, what you said in regards to my mother's, you know, willingness to just endlessly throw me to the wolves, throw me under the bus, because she trusts that no matter what she does, I will continue to be there for her and support her and love her, okay? Well, I've stated that that's her attitude. I've stated that out here, and, you know, and of course, Joe doesn't watch my videos. Joe's not into this kind of stuff. He would never watch any of my videos. He doesn't condemn me for doing it. He doesn't think it's a wise thing for me to put myself out there like that, you know. Again, it could eventually bring a psychopath to my door, and that's the chance I take. But yeah, that can only take my mother so far before I finally have had enough, Heavyweight, you know. You're 100% right. She thinks she can have her cake and eat it too. But there's going to be a point where I say enough is enough with this shit. And Joe thinks I should have already reached that point. He tells me I should just sever all ties with my mother, and for good, forever, that's it. He's not letting me give that excuse of her mental illness. He says there's a lot of mentally ill people who don't just continuously throw their own children under the bus, okay? The last time with that shit where, you know, she doesn't remember who destroyed her house, and she's letting Auntie get away with saying that I did it and whatnot, you know, and whatnot, and then while I'm going through hell with her, she's telling her friends, you know, I'd be okay if she was just gone, and you called the police on me. When I did nothing wrong, I should call the police on you, etc., etc., etc. You know, to all of that, to Joe, is just like really sick. And I can say, well, that's her illness doing that, and Joe's not buying it anymore. Remember, he's been my friend in my life, and been a part of all of this, you know, just via me telling him my latest or what's going on or whatnot. But again, it's gotten progressively worse over the past, you know, few years and past couple of years or whatnot. But yeah, I know what you're saying. You've heard, if you've watched most of my videos, as you've claimed, you know I've said that. And I've also stated, you know, that my behavior towards my mom a lot of times is wrong. I think she's doing, I shouldn't think she's doing things on purpose to drive me nuts or whatnot, you know. I agree with you. So I have also said it's probably not good for my mom, for us to live together, for me to live with my mother, okay? I've admitted all of that. But again, Joe's like, he's just not buying the she's mentally ill shit anymore, you know. He just sees how this is getting progressively worse, and how she's willing to just throw me under the bus. And like you said, it's because she, and you know, falsely believes that I will just never, I'll be there and support her and love her no matter what she does to me. And that's a fallacy. That's not a good attitude to have whether you're mentally ill, you know. So in that comment, you definitely hit the nail on the head, Heavyweight. You did. I mean, that's the whole thing. But don't I have the right as a human being to eventually just to say enough's enough? Doesn't mean I don't love her. I can sit here and tell you outright, I don't love my father. My feelings for him are just empty. They're, you know. And again, it's not because of what he did to me when I was a teenager. It's because he didn't accept accountability as when I became an adult for what he did to me as a teenager. He's trying to pretend it didn't happen and whatnot, and that's unacceptable to me, okay? So I didn't shut him out of my life because of what he did to me as a teenager. A lot of kids would have in my situation. When she reached an adult and said, fuck you, I never want to see you again. I have a very forgiving nature. because I recognize so many imperfections in me. And I think it's good to have a forgiving nature, to a point, but not if it makes you inclined to just allow other people to walk all over you endlessly. Then no, that's not good. There has to be a balance, you know. I totally get it. I get my mom's desperation to believe her sister loves her and is out for her best interest. Remember, it's her only living sister left now. My gut instinct tells me that my mother has misplaced trust in her sister. Joe would back me up 100%. Over a year ago, was it over a year ago? February of 13, yeah. Almost 2 years ago, he called her a scorpion. You want to know that story? If you haven't been watching my videos, it's out here on like 50 videos, okay? You know, scorpion, you gotta stay away from her. She's dangerous, Laura. I can't stay away from her when she has complete and utter control over my mother, Joe. Remember? That's the whole thing. Certain people, even my shelter friend who's only been in my life very briefly, 100% thinks Auntie's jealous of me. She said it outright to me. Remember, she's only been in my life relatively recently, for not very long. She wasn't in that shelter when those 6 months I was there. Remember, I only, I was living with my mom, and then when she, last February to May, and she's committed and I moved in with Bobby, I couldn't come back and live with her. Auntie made sure of that, so I had to go back in the shelter. I was expecting that. So my shelter friend, the recent one, I haven't known her very long. And this Monday morning, she outright said it, you know, your aunt's jealous of you. Hope said it outright years ago. You know, and I used to say, like, what is she jealous of me for? She has everything, you know? She goes on vacation. Every time I'm turning around, my mom's telling me how she goes on vacation. She has houses and condos and a shitload of money and this and that, and she's married and then, you know, but what do I have? I'm on welfare. I'm living with my abusive ex-boyfriend and his mother, who periodically just gang up on me because they like to do it, because I'm their punching bag. Not physically, they're verbal, you know, they're psychological, whatever. They're punching bag in a non-physical manner, you know. And I'm an easy target because either of them can decide to throw me out at a moment's notice, you know. And while I'm going through all this, those 2.5 years, every time I turned around, because remember, I was in my mother's life, like, and we were always talking about everything, and she would tell me about, you know, shit, you know, that Auntie did that she didn't like, and I'd tell her all about my shit going on with Donald and Hope, and again, it's all recorded out here, all on videos, and you know, and I lost my train of thoughts. I need to go back to bed. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. It shows I need to go to bed, huh? For a little bit. But yeah, my mother and I have always been close. Even my mother has said that Auntie's jealous of me. My auntie was saying that years ago. My mother was saying that years ago. Oh, and I know train of thought. Yeah, every time I turned around, I'm going through hell, and my mom's telling me how Auntie's on another vacation. Hey, it's the truth. She had the money to do it, huh? I'm talking every time I turned around, my mom's telling me Auntie's on another vacation, you know. I don't trust Auntie. I don't believe for 1 second she's sincere. Can I prove that? No. Why do you think I say opinion? In my opinion, in the opinions of those closest to me, and obviously I'm not including my mother, who I'm, you know, the closest to, or have been my whole life. I mean, you know, but in those closest to me other than my mother, you know, my mother's belief that her sister loves her and is only out for her best interest is a false belief. I can't prove it. My gut instinct tells me, though. Based on, it's not based on nothing, as you guys know. It's based on a lot of valid things, including even recently. The shit she pulled when my mother's locked up and deemed incompetent in a mental hospital. Okay. I justifiably do not trust this woman. Joe would back me up 100%. I'm sure a handful of you guys would too. Maybe more than a handful, you know what I mean? Anybody non-ignorant. And I don't trust her, and I'm a little bit afraid of her. I don't know what she's capable of. I don't understand the recent events that transpired over the past few days. I need to get out of here. Most definitely need to get out of here. It's easier said than done. All in all, that's why my friend out here, Karen, and yeah, I believe you can become friends with people you probably will never meet, you know? It's just a different kind of friendship. Anyway, my friend out here, Karen, who can relate to a lot and who's been through hell and back and whatnot in her life, etc., etc. I just lost my train of thought again. Oh, I know. I'll end with this. She's called me repeatedly on different occasions and comments out here brave, because I'm just trying to hold it together, people. I know I shouldn't drink, Karen, and Karen doesn't like if I drink, and you know, a lot of people do things they shouldn't do, you know. Even knowing that even when they know they shouldn't do them. I'm doing the best I can. I'm making the best of a extremely stressful, traumatic situation for me. I've been living in hell these past 2 months, you know. Trying to hold it together best I can. Trying to, you know, take care of him as best I could, you know, I tried to take care of him as best I could. You know, trying to hold it together best I can, trying to take care of him as best I can. All while not knowing what's going to happen with me, and worried sick about my mother. Worried sick over my mother. There's still a shitload of videos out here on private because they're long videos. I told you at the library, you know, if I was here and I had my own computer, I could be cleaning and doing other stuff. Like a lot of you guys, you know, well, I don't know, I only know of two, Talk Solid and Heavyweight now, told me she listens to my videos while doing other stuff. And, you know, I could do that. I could listen to my own videos while I was doing other stuff, you know, if I had my own computer, if I wasn't in this ridiculous situation, you know, but I can't. So at the library, think about it. If there's an hour video or an hour and 20 minutes, that's a long time for me to be sitting there at the library just watching and listening to that video. I start to daydream. I start to, you know, go off in a tangent in my head, or a lot of times, remember, these videos are very emotional. I broke down and cried almost watching one of my videos in the library, okay? I don't like to approve my videos until I've watched them. Sometimes, because sometimes I've fucked up and I've approved something before I watched it. It was something I shouldn't have approved. I shouldn't even have had it out there or something. I've had to delete it. It was a mistake. That rarely happens, but it can happen. So, but again, I just, for my own sake, I like to watch them before I approve them. And sometimes I know for a fact there's a certain day that I've done a whole bunch of videos, and I know I don't have to watch them to approve them. I know that they're all fine. Remember, I don't know sometimes if I have to age restrict them. I don't remember. I do too many videos. That's another reason. Sometimes I will approve them without watching them, and I'll just age restrict them even though they don't need to be age restricted. You know, I do it just in case. So there's all sorts of scenarios that happen. But, you know, you guys can... My videos, you don't have to see me, you know. You can listen while you're doing other crap, you know. Other more important crap than you know, keeping up to scoop, keeping up to date on my sordid existence, you know, my... Do you know, when I was living with Donald and Hope, I had a thing called Live Journal, but Hacker Enemy got at it, so I can never access it. I don't have the password. And a lot of the stuff's on private, but apparently it's still out there. At least it was. At one point, Live Journal, they had wanted to take it away if you weren't actively involved in your channel, your Live Journal channel, and people put up a stink. They're like, you know, there are things out here that there's a lot of things that I like to be. They put up a stink because a lot of people like to go to the old posts or whatnot. Well, Live Journal was a thing where you just hear someone's voice. And I was documenting my life all the time with that. And then because of Hacker Enemy, the stuff wound up on private. And so some of it, though, is public. I think. All I know is the ones that aren't public, the voice, the messages, the Live Journal messages, you know. You can post up at something up to 5 minutes. There were times I was in Hollywood and I called up drunk and called up my Live Journal and was talking into it. When I was in my Chad Kruger delusion, I would talk to Chad Kruger thinking that he might be listening, and that's all delusional thinking, fantastical thinking, but that's kind of sad. I can't access that. Now I don't even know if I remember the name of it. I don't know if all the voicemail things were on private. At one point I got a thing in my email saying that they were going to get rid of it, and then apparently there was so much backlash against them, people who had been posting live journal entries, voice entries out there for years, and then they were very appalled that if you weren't active in your channel on a regular basis or whatnot, or a certain part, they were going to get rid of those channels. And they changed their mind, and then I got a thing saying, we've changed our mind, we're going to keep the old live journal channels, you know, indefinitely. Is it still out there now? When Hacker Enemy was accessing it, I found that out. Hacker Enemy was fucking with me big time back in 2010, and I immediately paid like $15 to change my channel name, and then I had stuff, I had it private, and then I didn't have the password. Now I can't access it ever. Remember, Hacker Enemy destroyed my Hotmail that had thousands upon thousands of past messages. Hacker Enemy deleted my YouTube channels, but I reported it as, you know, that I was hacked into, and I got them back. Hence my videos out here. Fuck you, Hacker Enemy. YouTube gave me back my ALICIACREATURE. Yay. YouTube gave me back my ALICIA1. Yay. I didn't think I'd ever have those videos again. But now they're safe forever, because those were my original channels. And I never thought I'd see those videos again, and I kissed the ground when I got them back. And then Video Downloader, I got every fucking video and didn't just put it on this channel on private, because I didn't know if I could have it public when it's still out there on the ALICIACREATURE, ALICIA1. But I got it on flash drives, I got it on disc, I got it whatever. They're safe. Those videos are safe, okay? Videos I never thought I'd see again, you know? But when you know you've been hacked into, you report it to YouTube, and if they investigate and decide you have been hacked into, they give you back your channel. So that's cool. It's a process you go through. First I got one back, and then I got the other back. It's cool as hell. I was in shock when it happened. But not so lucky, you know, with the MySpace and the live journal and etc. You know, that Hacker Enemy accessed them all. They went in through the back door, I think, because I had said that at one point that Donald, you know, was stealing internet, and I guess that gives people, you can easily access somebody's computer when they're stealing your Wi-Fi or whatnot. I don't really know. All I know is this has been quite a ride, and it's not even remotely over. My mother, poor mother. It's not, if it goes to court, Mom, it's not going to be up to, I don't want a stranger. It's not going to be up to you to decide why. She's such a child. I have childlike qualities, okay? But I am very deep, very aware of everything that's going on in this world and whatnot, okay? My mother's a child. She doesn't get it. It won't be up to you to decide, Mama. In a different reality, it would be me. Or me and a neutral third party. I'm only out for your best interests. I would never fuck you over or try to hurt you or anything. But under the circumstances, it would never be me. It shouldn't be Auntie. I know you want Auntie. And it shouldn't be a third party who's going to be an ass, you know. It shouldn't just be a third party based on elder services, if that's true, what Uncle said, that they want to shut out the family completely and take all my mom's money and sell. They want whoever's appointed, you know, I don't know. Uncle could have been making it all up. My lawyer believes Uncle was making it all up. Not making up that he received a call from Elder Services lawyer, but that they actually would be that, you know, up front and say to him, you know, we're planning on taking all, you know, Samantha's money and selling her house and I guess putting her in a home and shutting out the family completely. The family will have no say in anything regarding Samantha. I mean, that's, maybe he was making up as they went along. I don't know. How do I know? I know my cousin believed it. She convinced me. And then I later talked to my lawyer, and my lawyer was like, that's ridiculous. I didn't just talk to my lawyer, I played my cousin's message for my lawyer. And, well, my lawyer understood why I would believe such a thing based on that, you know, my cousin's no idiot, based on that extremely, you know, well said, you know, well thought out message my cousin had left me, etc. Based on her conversation, her recent, as in just an hour before, something like right away she called me after she had talked to Uncle. Lawyer could get it, but lawyer pretty much tore down anything that it said, and in the end decided this is all bullshit. Your uncle is trying to turn your cousin against you. Your uncle and aunt are conspiring to drive you nuts. You know? Ain't rocket science, baby. Ain't fucking rocket science.